I've got 1,300,000 XP points on the Yoshino, as well as a 57% win rate in ranked with Yoshino, even though I don't really play ranked with it anymore. I've played this ship for about 3-4 years. It was probably the first coal ship I got. I don't even remember if I bought it for coal, if I bought it for something else, but it's one of my most played ships, as well as one of my favourite ships to farm credits and, you know, free XP and commander XP and all that type of stuff. But it's mainly credits I used to use it for, because I used to be so broke with credits back in the day when I was a free-to-play player. The reason why this ship is a credit printer is because obviously you get more base XP and credits when you do more damage to ships, and the Yoshino, you normally sit at the back of the map and shoot people at, what range is this, 23 kilometers, which used to be one of the only cruisers that could pull this off properly back in the day. Now there's a few cruisers that can hang around at the back of the map, but obviously the meta nowadays is just to sit 15 plus kilometers away from your enemy, and the Yoshino plays right into the hand of that. This is mainly due to its 305mm guns, I believe, that have a good like 20 something% fire chance, might even be 30. I'll bring the stats up during this gameplay. And you basically want to burn enemy BBs down, but you're not limited to just shooting BBs. For example, if you catch any sort of DD with about 5 shells, I'll say, you're doing half that HP easy, as well as, you know, incapacitating absolutely everything because of the caliber of your guns. The armor scheme for this ship is weak, but it's a bit like Yoshino's, where the further you are away to someone and the weirder your angle to them, the more you're gonna get some auto bounces and some random stuff happen. But you don't really want to get hit at all. You sort of want to angle in like how I am now, and you want to move out the way. You're shooting people a good 20 kilometers. If they're shooting back at you, you know, it's going to take 15 seconds or so for their shells to get you, so you want to be moving out the way really. You also have a spot plane, which is you know, increases your range by 20%, which your base range is about what is it on the screen now, about 20? Yeah, it's 20ish, something like that, so that can boost your range up to about 24. But I would play this ship the first 2-3 minutes of the game like this, right at the back. When I say right at the back, obviously don't, you know, C line, B line, don't be doing none of that, but like, you don't want to be, you want to be behind your BBs probably at the start of the game. Work out where ships are so that you can't get caught with crossfires, and then once you've worked out where ships are, like you see me doing here, you start to creep forward a bit. You also do get 20 kilometer torpedoes, which have really high alpha damage, but they can be seen from like 2.5 kilometers away when you launch them. What I mean by that is every torpedo has a different acquisition range, I think that's the word, and basically what that means is if someone hasn't got hydro or anything like that, how far away do they see the torpedoes? And with the Yoshino and the Shimakaze's 20 kilometer setting on them, you can basically see them coming like a mile away, which is obviously a downside, but the amount of times that you shoot torpedoes in this ship, just fling them randomly, and they just hit people who aren't looking, or people who see them coming. They see them so far coming that they forget about them and then just accidentally get hit by one. And because they're Japanese torpedoes, they do a good 20k or so, with, you know, pretty much 100% flooding chance. But most of the time in this ship, you're just going to be shooting HE at people. I would use AP only if you see, you know, a light cruiser, or you suspect a light cruiser to come around the corner or something like that. It's pretty good. Your shells are quite flat, as you can see me shooting here, and they are 305mm, so you can do some big damage. But really, you just want to be HE shelling people down, because you're a Japanese cruiser. Like, your HE is fantastic, good alpha damage, good fire chance. How I want to structure this video is, this game is how I would recommend you play it, whether you think it's boring or not. Holding a flank, shooting, you know, really far away at people. Don't worry about shell shattering, by the way. That's a Yamato there, and you know, pretty much all them shells are going to shatter probably on this turret, but it's the fires we care about. Let's see what they do here. Oh, completely missed him. Oh well. You've got decent maneuverability, so when it's just on the ship, so obviously we can't bounce him or nothing. If he hits us anywhere in the middle of our ship, we're taking it into the citadel, but just slow down. Just because you're shooting people so far away, and your cruiser, you're slightly lighter than the battleships, especially, you know, Yamato. That thing just doesn't move at all. but this moves fairly well. The rudder ships is a bit weak, and your ship's really long. So if you get caught broadside, you're gonna get. It's gonna take you a good like 15 seconds to get the full ship rotated 90 degrees. But you know, you want to be hanging around back here. You want to wait until the enemy DDs are dead or run away, and then you can slowly start to move forward. But you want to hold. You don't want to go near islands, really. You really don't want to go near islands. So you see, I'm proper out in the water here because I'm trying to swing around these islands and shoot torpedoes along this corridor, which they have awkward fire angles. You can see that they look good, but as you can see there, half of the circle's green because there's one set at the front and there's one set at the rear. And if you shoot the front half, then you can't shoot anymore on the front half of that quarter. Basically, they're split into 4 quarters. So you get 4, 5 torpedo tube launchers, which adds up to 20, but they're only done in quarters of your ship. So just pay attention to that, and don't, the biggest mistake people make in the ship, don't swing out broadside just to shoot some torpedoes. They're literally a last resort. Like, wait until you go dark, then swing out and launch some torpedoes, or just only shoot torpedoes when you're not going to get destroyed in one shot by some BB. So we've flipped around now because we realised that this is the losing flank. And as you can see, they've been dropped a few torpedoes on our run, and we're just trying to slowly retreat and drop torpedoes in the process. The slot of T there that you see with the defensive fire AA, you can either pick Hydro or the offensive fire, but because I normally play, like I said, at the back of the map, you're never really going to use Hydro, and I sort of always have an intuition of where the enemy DD is, so I choose not to pick Hydro. I would recommend defensive fire AA, just in case you start getting bullied by the CV or something, or you're getting dropped by, I think that's a Trompt, that annoying DD that has an airstrike. With the plane, you get a spot plane or a fire plane. Always take the spot plane. Oh, I hate that ship. That's a Colombo in it. Look how much damage it did. But we can't turn right because we'll beach ourselves. So but we're just trying to catch fires to people and run away. We have a decent hit. He was alright. Then Torps look like actually gonna hit him. But now the island's cleared, we can turn right and stop showing so much of our side to this guy. Look at 10k salvo of HE. There's our first set of torpedoes. He's missed, and the second set is like, yes, 19k. If he had damage con activated from when we set him on fire, but if he didn't, that would have been a flood. And there's a permafire. It looks like he has damage fire prevention, which means you can only have 3 fires. You can tell by that by how much their superstructure's on fire. His entire superstructure was on fire. Then when we set him on 1 fire, so he's got damage prevention, fire prevention, or whatever you call it. But for the rest of this game, we're probably in the perfect ship for this, but we just want to be running away, minimizing as much amount of damage as possible. I would normally go dark here, but as you can see with the airstrikes, there's a DD right chasing us. So if we stop shooting, we're still going to be spotted. So we're just trying to get as much damage in before the end of the game, really. We haven't hit any big hits, have we? We ain't hit no broadsides or nothing. We're just slowly whittling away enemies in our ship. He damage cons our fire. Get some more torps off on him. The DD decides to show his face. We launch more torpedoes as we're waiting for our reload. Trying to judge this guy's speed. He slows down at the last minute. 1k. You normally hit for about 18k. 1800, sorry. Let's see if we can hit him here. They look good, they look good. Yeah, he's gone. But yeah, so you obviously got no radar, nothing like that, but you can still, if the DD decides to shoot you or someone else radars, you can pretty easily dev-struck destroyers. You always do, if you land your shells, which are pretty accurate, cruiser accuracy, you always do a good 10k at least. Thinking about it now, you might be thinking, why didn't I go dark after I killed the DD that was spotting me? But they got this CV flying his planes over and all sorts. So unfortunately, our kiting and shenanigans ends here. But we went away with 4 million tank damage and 170,000 damage. And that's about what you would get average by sitting at the back of the map. It's not fun, but it's today's meta. Wish it wasn't that. My most played ships are the Torps that go first. What's the other one I have? I can't remember what my third most played is. But I like to brawl. But you know, today's metas, you want to sit at the back of the map, you know, to get your XP, to get your credits, and you know, if you move forward in randoms, you're just gonna get shot by everyone. But this game, I wanted to basically illustrate that. So I'm not gonna sit at the back of the map in this game. I'm gonna sort of get in close and brawl as much as I can. Which you don't have the armor for, but you can change up your play style a bit and go for the islands that I told you to avoid before. So how you play around these islands, you can't shoot over them because you've got flat shells. You have to hide behind them and then sort of wait for their team to move forward and then send it around the corner. Ideally you would put Hydro on, but I forgot to put Hydro on when I was illustrating this. But the good thing about doing this is you get Hydro, so you can see things coming before they come. And you've got good alpha damage, so if a DD runs around the corner, you can obviously try and top him back, but shoot him first. And if you do shoot him, you do a good 13k alpha damage, which is, you know, good over half of most DDs. All of a sudden this sub comes around the corner, which if we had Hydro, we would have seen him come around the corner, but I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And with the sky depth charges that you can see there, we can't do them like on top of ourselves, so this is a bit awkward. But if we had Hydro, we could see him right now, because I'm just going to explain how Hydro works with subs. But no matter how deep the sub is, 60 meters or whatever, if you're 2 kilometers away with an active Hydro, you can see the sub. It's obviously really good if you've got depth charges or something, but you can't drop the plane bombs from within about 1 kilometer of yourself. But either way, we could like spot for, you know, the BB back there to drop him and stuff. But we're still gonna linger around this island and see if we can shoot over these islands. So that there's a guy there. Like, how far away is he? 25 kilometers. We've thrown the spot plane up for the actual purpose of the spot plane to see the guys over the hill. But you know, it also increases our range so we can shoot over stuff. But at this point, you know, I got a bit bored of sitting behind this island trying to shoot people over islands, and we lost the spot plane. So I decided to send it around the corner, which you can do because you got 10-20 torpedoes. So I'm looking, I know there's someone on this side, and oh, we find my guy right here. The Otago, which also does have torpedoes, but you know, we got him first. He probably wasn't expecting us to send it. But now we're in a bit of a pickle, because that's the only thing we can do at close range is like sail into each other and torpedo them. If they start to kite, you're sort of screwed. So we get spotted by I think it's a Colombo spotter plane, which he's in a smoke at the moment, which I think he was trying to flank us from the other side of the island. But there's a few ships over here. We had barely enough information because we didn't have Hydro. But yeah, we got good YOLO potential. I think the nose is 27. There's no like turtleback on the nose or like additional pieces of armor. So if anyone's got half decent high caliber guns, they're just gonna sit you through the nose. So I would suggest, if they're running away from you, you got to angle a bit like this. But then again, it's a Colombo who doesn't care about anything in terms of armor and angling. Which we do get sit down by his AP there, and he shoots more AP at us here. And he doesn't sit at us because you want to sort of hold an angle here. You can't hit the middle of your belt with anything really. And then we sort of just get whittled down. Because the only alpha potential we've got at close range is the torpedoes, and if they kite, we're screwed. I think, yeah, 8 bounces. So yeah, you can't really be doing that in this ship. But I've got one more replay here when I try to play slightly more aggressive, because, you know, that's fun. You know, we play this game for fun, not to sit at the back of the map and farm credits. So I launch some torpedoes down the middle of the map where it looks like everyone's going. And then I push up with my BB here. What is he? He's a whatever that thing is there. I actually don't know what that is. So I decide, oh, we hit someone with a torp in the smoke. But I decide to push up with him. Don't hit me, torpedo, please. Yep, we save. And we're winning, that we're 4 ships up to 1. So, oh, we hit someone else in the smoke screen. So we're winning, oh, he's flooded as well. So I'm like, yeah, let's send it, one boy. Let's go. But I sort of, you know, get a bit scared and get this guy's away. Yeah, sorry, mate. And now we're against 4 ships. which were moderately tanky, and I've beached it. Or what's the donut? But we're moderately tanky, and that hurt. And our AP can do good damage. Yes, I can't remember if I said that this guy. Nope. And nope. Someone tell me how to shoot that ship. Is it the back end of the ship or something? How do we get free waterline overpass? But we look pretty dead at the moment. But we do have our whole team support behind us, and we just take down another 2 ships. And we've got a decent amount of tanking ability. That is 61,000 health. I'm pretty sure this is without the HP flag. And we do have long fire burns, so that's not good. And we do have 27 mil, so on the nose, I think that's 280mm calibers, can't pen it or something like that. I'm not sure if you're a Yoshino shooting another Yoshino, if you can shoot for the nose. I don't think you can. So maybe it's 100, 305 or whatever. But after getting hit by everyone and hitting a few people with torpedoes and getting this guy's way and making him get hit by torpedoes, we push up a bit further forward. AA is fairly decent, so we can shoot down some of these planes before it drops our teammate. The rotation speed of the turrets is pretty horrendous, so our rear turret is basically not going to be available this next bit. There's a lot of torpedoes coming our way. This is probably another reason why you have to pick your play style before you go into a game, because the Hydro would be so much better right now. But our team's basically won now, so it's just basically chase down the other team, finish them off. In terms of acquiring this ship, I'm pretty sure it's like 280,000 coal. I would recommend it. Would I recommend it over the Izumo? I would say definitely if you're playing randoms, because 9 and 10 they just mix with each other all the time, so why not get the Yoshino? For ranked, like I showed at the start of the game, I have good stats, but it's been sort of, what's the word, power crept, like it's not, it used to be pretty good, but all these new ships and stuff, it's not that good for ranked anymore. You sort of need radar and all that. But for randoms it's fantastic, one of the best ships. I would definitely recommend it. We did play these 3 games back to back, so these 3 replays are the end credit results of the games we played. I did have a big modifier on, but it's just a quick vague overlook of like the type of XP you would get. You do get a 50% bonus XP, which always pretty much covers the cost of the service, and then any XP you earn in the game is all XP earned basically. The modifiers there at 50% gave us 150k, and we spent 150, so the 50% comes with the ship because it's a premium ship, so that always covers your cost, and then anything you earn on top is on top. It looks a beautiful ship. This skin here was the Christmas tree thingy. It's a fantastic looking skin, and this is my favourite port as well, so I'm a bit of a Yoshino's Japanese fanboy, but hope you enjoy the ship.